Alright, hey y'all, hey, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jessica Lauren, and I'm super passionate about helping goal-getters ditch those excuses, do the work, and make ish happen. So if you're into things like goal setting, planning, making mindset shifts, getting over your fears, then baby, you are in the right spot. And if you want to keep in touch, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like, share, comment, all that jazz, so that we can keep in touch, because we see each other. Real Housewives of Atlanta fans know what that's from, okay? So what are we talking about today? Today, we are doing a business reset. Yes, your girl is hitting reset on my business. What is a business reset? It's basically just hitting the reset button on your business. It's when you face the music and realize like, hey, I have to pivot. Hey, I made some mistakes. Hey, I want to make a different choice. And that's what I'm choosing to do this month for my small business. So if you're new here, I own Sunday Jumpstart Paper Company, and it is my stationery brand that I just launched in November 2023. Now, I started a podcast back in 2017 called the Sunday Jumpstart Podcast. And while I was podcasting, and it had always been a huge dream of mine to not just talk the talk and, give people tips and tricks and all that stuff. I really wanted to make a tangible product that I could put into my listeners' hands so that they could take all the tips and tricks that they're learning on the podcast or here on the YouTube channel and actually take action, right? It's one thing to absorb all this information, but to actually do the things, it takes a little bit of courage and it takes some tools, right? So I was just like, oh, I want to make a planner. It had been such a lifelong dream of mine. The podcast, I ended that 2022, so that's what, 6 years, 5 years? Jesus, where's the math? It's 5 years of me just really wanting to start a stationery business. And I am a planner girly through and through. When my mom used to ask me, what do you want for your birthday? What do you want for Christmas? What do you want to do? It'd be like, baby, can we go to Michael's? Can we go to Target? Can we just go where they have school supplies? Like going into CVS or my grandma, I'm pulling markers and pencils and construction paper and notebooks. I just love paper. I love handwriting. I love pens. I love pencils. I'm a stationery girly. So what did I do? I started designing my planner. I hired my planner coach, Tatiana. I'll leave her channel in the description because she teaches people how to make their own planners. And she's actually opening up her membership pretty soon. This is not sponsored. It's just information that I know as I am speaking. But she's starting a class that'll teach you how to make your own planners. Anyway, I hired her. She helped me learn how to create a planner, how to get it manufactured, how to design it. So I did that from 0 to 100. Every step of the production, I did it, right? I am nobody's graphic designer. I taught myself with the help of Tatiana just how to make this planner happen. And so I launched in November 2023. It took me about a year to create the planner because I had my son in 2022. He just turned 2 years old. So we launched and it was a pretty good launch. Like, I'm super proud of it. My first launch came out with 2 designs, a notepad, and some stickers. I was thrilled about it. The process to getting it manufactured, however, was a tizzy, okay? And then I did a second launch recently in May of, what year is this? 2024, right? And the planners that I came out with, they're based on the book 12-Week Year. So they're essentially undated 12-week planners, so that's 90 days, and it really helps you take huge goals and break them into bite-sized actionable tasks so that by the time 12 weeks are up, you done conquered at least 3 goals, big goals, right? So I love the idea of that, and it sold really well. Well, I was on YouTube looking up like how to start a stationery business, right? And this girl, Jessica Macy, popped up. I'll leave her in the description. And she was like getting her huge delivery of planners and opening her warehouse. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that could be me. And her name Jessica too, like me. So we sisters. But she said something that stuck with me. She was just like, I started off with a digital planner and I sold on Etsy for a year, I think, and the digital was doing so well. Then she produced a physical planner, but she was like, as quiet as it's kept, she does not make a ton of money with the physical planners because they are so expensive to manufacture, that the digital aspect of her business and the communal aspect, she has a wonderful community, that's what pays for her love project. The physical planners are just more so something that she wanted to do. It's not necessarily a moneymaker. If anything, it kind of takes money out of her business, but that's something she wanted to do. And that's something that stuck with me. So as I'm looking at manufacturers with Tatiana, she gave me quite a few that was based here in the US and quite a few that was based in China. I, of course, wanted to go with the one overseas because each planner that you can customize from the rooter to the tutor. I'm talking about adding folders, gold foil, bookmarks. It could be linen, book bound, coils. Like you could get whatever you wanted at like $3 a pop. The catch, however, is one, finding like a reputable company, which we found. Tatiana had done some stuff with overseas productions. But the other issue was that they have what's called MOQs, and that's minimum order quantities, right? They want you to buy 4,000, 5,000, 3,000. And it was just like beyond the investment. I'm not at a point where I can confidently sell 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 planners, especially when I want to have different variety, right? Like I want to have this cover that is red, this black cover, whatever the case may be. It was like, oh my goodness. So I went with the manufacturer here in the US. The first year we had a few hiccups, but we worked them out and they're lovely people. It's just expensive. It is so pricey to get it done here. It's a lot of work. You have to, I have colorful pages and in my planner, the covers are colorful, have a design. So that costs, So if you were to go on my website right now, the planners are priced at $47. Now, I was torn with that price because it was like, dang, my people gonna pay $47 for a 12-week planner. Now, I will say this, us planner girlies and boys, we don't spend the money on what we like, right? Like if I want it, if it's $47, $12, whatever, I'm gonna get it, right? But in this economy, that ain't always gonna work. You know what I'm saying? So I came up with the digital launch, right? To kind of offset the price of getting the physical planners manufactured. I'm so grateful that Jessica shared that because I was like, huh. And let's talk a little bit about the shift in my own planning life. Back in the day, pre-baby, y'all, on Sundays at my apartment, honey, I had a very Sex in the City apartment. If I could find some footage, I will show it to you before I became my mama. Baby, I would light candles, get some wine, some coffee, some water. You gotta have 3-4 beverages, honey. Play some jazz or some lo-fi in the background. Set out my journal, my planner, my stickers, my notepad, my erasable highlighters. Baby, I did it all and was just playing for hours. Like it was such a fun experience. It was my hobby. Like I genuinely just get a thrill out of writing, right? But I had my son. And to grab a planner and a journal and your notepad and your pens and your highlighters, he was like, girl, I got a baby. I'm nursing. I can't do all that. But I still was trying to, show up on my podcast, show up on Instagram, write my blogs, write my newsletter. This is a business, you know what I'm saying? So I was still trying to show up. So I still had plans, but I wasn't writing them in a big bulky planner anymore. I had a diaper bag. I ain't putting that in there, like all of that. Y'all, I'm losing my light a little bit, so we're gonna have to make this a little fast, okay? So I kind of started hybrid planning, right? I was blessed with an iPad. I won a grant through this wonderful organization. I'll leave it linked in the description so y'all can check it out. It's called Black Girl Ventures. I won a grant through them, and they had a partnership with Apple, and they gave some of us MacBooks and some of us iPads, right? I took the iPad because I already have a MacBook. And then I was just like, well, since I got an iPad, let me go ahead and get an Apple Pencil. Went on, I got my first digital planner from Good Mondays. I saw her on Instagram and I just fell in love, like, oh my gosh, that looks so cool. And I became a digital planner girly. And I loved it. I did not look back. Sometimes I would grab my planner, but then it was just like, shoot, all of my plans are in GoodNotes. That's the app that will host my digital planner. And I loved it because whatever I wrote in my iPad would sync with my phone. So if I had my baby or we're on the go and I had this list of things to do, I didn't have to lug around a physical planner. I could just look at my phone and be like, okay, this is what we're doing. This is where we got to go. And what I mean by hybrid planning is like I would write out my plans in the digital planner, maybe add some of it in Google, and that was it. So I could get alerts and stuff. Every blue moon, I would grab a sheet of paper or my planner when I had to write something down quick. But as far as like being on top of my stuff, it was Google. Maybe Trello for content creation or Notion. It was just, I was just going digital, not because I hate paper. It was just more of a convenience thing. And it got me to thinking like, are other mothers like this? Are other people hybrid planning? Are students hybrid planning? Are people just on the go and not necessarily wanting to lug around a whole other book, right? I still love it, but it just shifted how I planned once I became a mom, right? And so as I'm selling, right, I did launch vlogs. I'll be sure to link the playlist of this whole journey from like me opening up my samples, designing, all of that. I'll link it in the description. So as I'm selling, I'm like, oh, the digital products are keeping up with the physical products. Okay, they kind of neck and neck. Oh, the digital products are kind of surpassed. Like it was just like, oh, there was clearly an audience that wanted the digital set and an audience that wanted the physical set. Cool. So, I'm just gathering information. For me, that's all that starting a business is. You don't know right off the bat, day one, anything. You just going with your heart, with what God told you. You're doing a little bit of market research, and baby, the rest, you just out here experimenting like a scientist. Like, look, let's see what work, okay? And so I'm just like, oh, okay. Hey, people are into digital planning. Cool. So I'm just keeping this in the back of my head. When we go into planning my next launch, things on my manufacturer was just going kaput. You know what I mean? Like, God bless them. They was trying their hardest, but they were sending me wrong samples. The quality of the planners was just lacking. Some of the design, like it just was a mess. And I was getting irritated because, the state of the economy right now, everything is inflated. Everything is even more expensive than it had been. And it's just like, as a business owner, in order for me to make money, to make a profit, I would have to raise the price of the planner even more than $47. But here's the kicker. There were constraints on my creativity. Like I said, overseas, they let you put a ribbon in it, add pen, stickers. The manufacturers here, they're like, we can't do that because the order is too small. Some of these products, like when they make a planner, they'll buy this huge, piece of board and they measure out, what I'm saying? Like they just be like, we don't offer folders. We can't do this. And the companies that could, baby, they wanted an arm and a leg, your firstborn child, your social security. They wanted your everything. As far as financially, it was a big investment. And again, it was just like, in order for me to make profit, I am trying to make a pretty good profit margin on this. It would be astronomical. And so my manufacturer was like, you got 200 pages. Girl, it's 365 days in a year. And granted, I could do like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on this page, Thursday. I just like a full spread. I write really big. I just want what I wanted. And so I was limiting myself going with this manufacturer. I love my planners, I do, but they weren't what I envisioned because it just cost too much, right? It cost too much for me to make it and it cost too much for y'all. But luckily, I was blessed with some loyal customers that done bought the planner 3-4 times. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a 12-week planner. So every quarter people were buying it, which was nice. But like I said, I couldn't come out with multiple covers. Da, 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 da. So again, here we are gearing up for planner season. We're in the midst of planner season. But because mine was undated and we were out the BAM, I gave myself a little bit of leeway to kind of launch October, November-ish, and then do a big push in December. I'm like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. Outside of the costs and dealing with the manufacturer and all that, I am also a stay-at-home mom. And my goals have shifted since November 2023. During that time, my son was 1, right? And so when they're 1, you can still just kind of, oh, hey, do a little few things, but their main priority is to eat, sleep, poop, and that's pretty much it. Now that he's 2, he's learning and growing and inquisitive and active. And we're signed up for activities and we're going to, we just out here, we living it up. And I've been doing homeschool. He's only 2, but doing preschool at home. We go to preschool on Fridays. It's an hour and a half long class. But for the main part, I'm at home 24/7 trying to teach my son, trying to just be a present mom. And so the other reason why I wanted to shift gears a little bit outside of manufacturing, creative constraints with like page limitations, color limitations, add-ons, it was also just like, oh, this season of motherhood requires a different level of attention from me. So the other reason why I'm thinking about pivoting and doing a reset is because when I package orders, as cute as it is, as much of a flex as it is a lot of work. And it takes a lot of time. So when you some days I might have 5 orders, 10 orders, 20 orders, whatever. And to sit and pack that up, in my mind, it's like, oh, I'll do that in an hour. Girl, it take more than an hour. It take a minute. You know what I'm saying? And when I factored in the cost, I didn't factor in how long it would take me to do the packaging and the shipping and the schlepping to the post office. And mind you, I'm grateful for that schlep. Don't get it twisted, honey. But it was just like, dang, that was 4 hours. I didn't necessarily pay myself for that. You know what I'm saying? That was 4 hours. I was away from my son. That was 4 hours where I'm kind of irritated. If I'm trying to do it with him, I'm irritated. My goal as a mother is to be present and as hands-on as I possibly can be, especially because I have the privilege to stay home with him. You know what I'm saying? So as much as I can, I try not to be super distracted. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I sat down and did the numbers, talked to Jesus, Lord, and had a heart-to-heart with myself. Talked to my mama, talked to my man, what do y'all think? Looked at the numbers, literally did a little chat GPT and look, compare these, analyze what's going on with the market trends, talked to a few of my customers. And the reset is I'm going digital. As much as I love physical products, for the reasons we listed above, the manufacturing cost, the creative constraints, the just time, the labor cost for me to do it, the back and forth to the post office with my son, I used to fantasize about doing that stuff, but now that I'm in the midst of it, it's hard. Of course, everything is hard, but I would very much like to sign up for something that's a little bit more passive, right? Baby, when my Shopify go off of them digital things, I don't even have the alert because it automatically fulfills the orders. It is something that, I sit down and I design it once, or as many, okay, I want to do inserts, I want to do whatever. I design those things, I upload it to Shopify, I do my marketing, I talk about it, I show it off, trying to see how much time I got left on my camera. And then, I do the tutorials and all of that stuff, upload it. Somebody hit purchase and it's gone. I don't have to do nothing else. That money feels really good. I want to keep going with that, right? And so I am deciding to just press pause on physical planners and physical products for the moment, right? At some point, I think I will get back into that because I just love mugs and t-shirts, and that's always been the vision. I love physical planners, but the size. So for instance, my planner is an 8.5 by 11. I wanted, what is it, 7.5 by 9? I couldn't do it because they're like, we don't do that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, dang it, with an iPad, with digital planners, I can have as many pages as I want, as many templates as I want, as many covers as I want. You know, I can make 12 different covers and be like, here you go. You decide which cover you want. You know what I'm saying? Instead of having an inventory of different designs and I can't gauge which one people will like. Here we go. We can play around. You know what I'm saying? I can make whatever stickers and whatever tabs and all of that, right? So I'm going to go digital for a season, test it out, see how it feels. Right now, it feels like a really good decision. I'm not stressed out about dealing with manufacturers trying to figure that out and the cost. It allows me to be more accessible at a reasonable price. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm okay spending, you know, what I want for things, but I just know things are tight. You know what I'm saying? And to offer, it would feel better for me if it was like, okay, here's 6 months for $47, 12 months for $47. But for it to be 12 weeks was always a pain point for me. So I tried to make it the best that I could and, you know, just was like, okay, I would pay $47 to get this type of focus. But in the back of my mind, it would be nice if it could be $27. You know what I'm saying? And since I'm not at the point where I have that type of fanfare for this planner where I could just buy thousands of them at a time, I just can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I can't make it cheaper. Then I'd be basically giving it away for free. And the whole point of the business, honey, is to make that money. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna go digital. So right now what I'm designing is the everyday planner, the everyday essential planner. And basically it, like I said, I have the 12-week year planner that's already a digital design. I'm redesigning it though. That's based off the 12-week year, so you can focus on the goal. This one is more so, what do I need to do every day? What is my schedule? What am I eating today? What's my, you know, how did this month go? It's just like a essential planner. It's going to have 365 days. It's going to be dated. You know, like I'm so excited that I'm being able to offer this. Another reason why I wanted to go digital, the other day I was minding my own business and my phone goes off. Ching, you got to say, oh, awesome. Somebody bought a digital planner from Zimbabwe. If you watching this, thank you. From Zimbabwe. With the physical planners, we were only doing US shipping. We as in me. I'm the only person that work here. Because trying to figure out shipping internationally and tariffs and all of that, it was just like, ooh, chat, this a lot. Mind you, I can do it, but being that my work, I'm gonna stay at home. Sometimes I be having to pick and choose. Like, listen, we gonna do US right now because I don't even have the wherewithal to try to juggle YouTube and designing and, you know, being a present preschool, staying at home. It was a lot. So those are the sacrifices that I was willing to make, the pivots that I'm willing to make during this business reset. So I just wanted to make that announcement because I know a lot of you guys found me via my launch vlogs and, you know, pack this order with me. Still going to do it at some point. Just not in this season. We going digital. So the plan is to have some digital inserts and all of, you know, just the whole digital world. Now, let me tell you about some of the cons of this. What I'm afraid of is icing out some of my customers, right? Everybody don't got no tablet. Everybody don't got no Apple iPad. Everybody don't got no Samsung, whatever Samsung got. Everybody don't have no Apple Pencil. So I'm trying to be cognizant of that. Like I might be saying peace out to some customers. You know what I'm saying? So that's a concern of mine. There's a learning curve when it comes to digital planning. So, you know, some people think like, I got my iPad, I got this digital planner, saved my life. But you have to kind of keep up with the trends that's happening on GoodNotes, the updates, you know, so that technical part I'm a little bit nervous about and trying to educate people about that. So that's another thing that I have to be aware of is like, okay, you're introducing this product. Now you have to educate your customer base on how to use it. Those are my main concerns. I, for a brief second, was like, okay, what if I could do a hybrid situation, right? We have some digital, the planners are digital, but what if you still had daily notepads, right? Like this is my daily plan, this is my weekly plan, this is my grocery plan. where people could tear it off and go, real small sizes. But I was like, that doesn't eliminate the packaging aspect, the shipping. So, you know, I'm still toying around with ideas, but right now I'm 95% sold on just strictly digital for now. My camera is overheating, so I'm gonna leave it at that. I pray to God I made all my points in this outline. I was freestyling. I mean, I made the outline, but I also was just going off the dome. Okay, so my computer cooled off a little bit, so I just wanted to leave you with some final thoughts in case you're a business owner that's a little bit nervous about pivoting and hitting reset. Let me be the first to tell you it is okay, right? There are no fast and hard rules for how you need to show up and run your business. You're the boss, you're the CEO. So if you need to pivot, change your mind, completely burn everything and start from scratch again, that's your choice. That's your right. You can do it. So don't be afraid to do it. There's always going to be somebody that has something to say, but follow your intuition, follow what God is putting on your heart, and just take the next best steps, and then the next best step will be revealed to you. And just know you can always keep pivoting back and forth until it feels right for you and your situation. I'm rooting for you. We got this. We in this together, okay? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please do me a solid and subscribe. I'll be sure to keep you guys updated on the goings-ons. I'll show you the design and all that jazz. So please stick around. If you don't subscribe, no worries. I love you anyway. Thank you for watching. If you want to hang out with me outside of YouTube, check me out over on Instagram. I love you. I pray you have a good week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Let me cool this camera down because baby, she hot. Bye.